We are almost ready to explain what voltage is, but before that, few other simple concepts. So the first is shown here to the right of the slide. Don't read the text for now. This is very simple. This drawing is simply showing something you probably already know, which is that charges of the same sign repel each other. So whether they are both positive or also both negative, there will be a force that pushes them away. And by the way, this force is called Coulomb force. Whereas if the charges, they have different sign, they will attract each other. This is all nice and easy, but there's probably a question in your mind. It certainly was in mine. How does this charge know that there is another charge Q with the same sign of the charge, so that a certain force F is going to be applied to it, depending on the distance d between the two charges? This is an important concept because as human beings, we're used that if you want to communicate something, you have to emit some sort of signal. Audio if you talk, video if you wave your hand. But here, that's not the case here because charges don't have ears or they don't have eyes. So how do they communicate? Well, to explain this phenomenon, physicists introduced the concept of electric field. Every charge emits electric field in all directions around them. You can think of the electric field as a sort of a sound wave. Just as a sound wave, the intensity of the field is higher close to the charge and becomes lower and lower as you go away from the charge. The electric field will spread at infinite distance, but obviously at some point it will be really tiny. And the other charge Q, depending on the relative distance between the two charges, will fill a certain electric field, and depending on the intensity of the electric field in the position of the charge Q, it will be subject to a certain force F. So electric fields are used by charges to feel the presence of each other and reacting accordingly to Coulomb's law.